I'm Rosemary Cathcart and I have a lace museum and shop in Ballinalek in Enniskillen, and it's one of the few places in Ireland to see antique lace and also to be able to buy it. I've always been interested in needlework, any type of needlework, but I bought a little piece of antique lace and decided that it would be a lovely thing to collect and started my collection. And then I found that there's really very few places in Ireland that you can see lace, so I thought really we should put it on display. Well, I'm interested in the way it's made and how really skillful it is. It's very, very underrated skill. And also, obviously, the look of the lace. I just like the way it looks. We get a lot of craft groups, people who are interested in needlework, really, not necessarily brides. Some people just collect, some people just like to look at it, see how it's made. It's a very old craft. It goes way, way back. It didn't start in Ireland particularly that long ago, but mainly started in Italy and France and places like that. Most of the laces I sell are from around about 1880 to 1900, but lace goes way, way back, long before that. But my laces were mainly made after the famine, after the potato famine. A few around about 1920 would probably be as late as we go, but mainly 1900 and before. The museum is basically 2 rooms, and in this first room we have Carrickmacross lace and Irish crochet. And then in the middle cabinet here is very special. It's Inishmixaint. And Inishmixaint lace was made in County Fermanagh, and it's a needle lace, and it's really quite rare. There wasn't an awful lot of it made, and we were lucky enough to get this collection of it here from, would be the great grandson of the man who started the lace industry in Fermanagh, in Benmore Rectory. There's about 700 exhibits in the museum, and well, it just all came basically from Ireland, and I've just collected it all piece by piece over the years, over about 20 years. Mainly at specialised textile auctions rather than, I mean, you can go to fairs and you can go to antique shops and things, but you're only going to get, maybe one little piece at a time. But if you go to a specialised textile fair or a textile auction, they will be specialising in lace or other fabrics, so you have much more chance of picking up pieces. This piece here is interesting. This is a whole wedding gown accessories. It's made up sleeves and then a collar and a huge flounce at the back and a parasol, and there's a handkerchief to match that as well. And that's all Carrickmacross lace, and it's Carrickmacross Guipure lace, which is made without net. It's usually backed with net. That's a different type of Carrickmacross, and I'd hate to think how many hours it took to make that. That one's actually 1870, that one was made, because we have a letter with it saying when it was made and exactly what it is, what each piece is. You can see it says 2 sleeves and 1 bertha, that's the collar, and a handkerchief and a long train piece. So that little letter tells you. And that letter's dated 1921, but the lace was made much earlier than that. Lace was always a luxury, and the poor people made it, but they made it because they had to. It was to survive, to earn some money. They never kept their work. It was made to sell. Although if you did have a lace maker in your family, you were very lucky because, it made a big difference to you just after the famine. But always the rich people wore it. It was always a luxury item. This is the Limerick lace now, and it's basically an embroidery on net. So you'd have a plain piece of net to start off with, and then all the decoration you see on it, there's all hand embroidered onto it. And these are all little wedding dresses. And as you can see, they're all tiny because everybody was much smaller then. Even, in height, they're all quite small. And they're all similar design. A lot of these are Edwardian, so they're sort of 1910. These gowns are Irish crochet, all these ones in the centre. So we have 6 or 7 of them in the centre there, and they're very, very hard to get now. You just don't. Over the 12 years, I've collected them, but that's all I have been able to get over 12 years, and you just don't see them very often. And a big project that probably would have had a group of women working on it rather than just one. You get somebody who maybe would be particularly good at these leaves, so that person will do all the leaves, and then somebody else will do the flowers, and then you'll have somebody else as a joiner who'll join it all. So you'd have a group of women working on something like that. That one in the corner was actually given to me by the Guinness family, and the top of it is like a satin, and then they've got needle lace inserts in the top, and the bottom is a silk skirt with Limerick motifs on the front and Limerick lace on the bottom, and then it's embellished with sequins. It's very nice. The shop is open all year round, 10 until 6 every day except Sunday. Museum is open the same, except December to April we close the museum, but we will open it by appointment. So if you want to come, as long as you ring us, we can open it. The phone number is 02866 348 052, and the website is antiqueIrishlace.co.uk.